Jesse.
Anyone else?
I have a question. This is actually for Mr. Vance. A lot of people in Lincoln County are worried about the whole thing with Thomas and the merits of his character. With all of everything that's been going on, how can the county trust what you say of the merits of this man's character when the merits of your character have also been questioned?
Well, that's a good question, I think. I don't, I think the merits of my, anytime you're in a public office, there's gonna be people that disagree with what you do. They're gonna be disagreeing with the way you do things. I've always tried to do what I felt was the honest and fair thing to do for everybody. And sometimes people don't see it that way. They see it, other things may be other ways, so. And I don't know if anyone that's in public office can say everyone agrees with everything I do. But I try to do what I think that's best for the people of the county. And if that upsets people or puts people in a situation where they don't agree with what I do, I don't really do that for that reason. But I don't know who it was, but someone said one time that if you're in public office and everyone liked you, you're probably not doing your job. And I think that's a situation that exists with me. I try very much to remain as high as I can of character. I try not to put myself in situations where I might second guess my answers to things. I always have a reason when I vote particular ways, and I'm willing to share that reason with anyone on any vote I have. And if you've followed the votes I've had as commissioner over the past several years, I haven't always agreed with the commission. But that doesn't mean I disagree with the type people they are. It's I disagree with what they're maybe trying to do that I feel is not best for the people. And, go ahead.
Well, do you also think that maybe in the upcoming election that maybe since everybody's real concerned with Mr. Ramey, that maybe there should be a little bit more study into the person that is elected before they're elected?
Oh, I think so. I think that the voters ought to look at everyone who runs for office. Look at what they've done, look what they're promising. It's real easy to go out and run for office when you're not an office holder and promise all kinds of things, but you really got to be honest with the people, and that's the key, I think, to being a successful person in office is to represent the people. Once they see that you're making decisions that may not be for the best of everyone, then they start questioning your motives, and that's when you get into why do you do things or don't do things. But I think if I was running for office, or if anyone's running for office, everyone that votes should know everything they can about everybody that they vote for or against. Know not only what people are saying about them, but know how they voted on issues, know what they've done to help people or not help people. Then you can make an informed decision. I mean, we've got a lot of good people running for office in this county now. I mean, we have a lot of honest, good people running for office. And I would hope that the people would be able to look at each one of them and just make a decision on their own based upon what they thought was best for them and their families. And that's the way I've always been.
Okay, and the last thing I have to say, can you honestly tell the residents of Lincoln County that they can feel safe with your motives?
Well, I think so. I think so. The ones that have questioned my motives in the past, sometimes you have to do things you don't really give an answer as far as motives because you know that it's what your job is. If your job is to make sure they're valid elections, if there's information that goes into those boxes are valid, then that's your job. It wasn't my job to upset everyone around here about this election in 2010 by being concerned about the number of absentee ballots or what percentage went a particular way. It was my job to do it. It was my job to make sure that those elections are valid. And I feel really good, and the people of this county feel really good about the vote this spring. They know their vote counted. I had people come to me on election night saying, hey, it really did work. We did wind up electing people that hadn't been in office for a long time. And when you see that, and I think you'll see that across the nation, people are dissatisfied with what government's been doing, not just here in Lincoln County. But we know it better because we live here. We see it up front quicker. But if you look at what problems we have here in Lincoln County, can go back many years to when we had to deal with monies in elections, when we had to deal with factionalism. But if you look at the Citizens United ruling by the Supreme Court, what you have now nationally is unlimited funding into different PACs that can get without having to tell who's doing what. And that's, to me, That's what got us some problems here in this county in the first place, was having two really strong families who were really rich, that fought each other for whatever they could to gain, you know, whatever they could. But if you look at nationally, what's going on right now is that you have, you know, billionaires putting monies into campaigns that they're not even in the state they're from. You know, that they're actually trying to influence the vote of people without having to give their name out. You know, we have to fill out forms all the time when we run for office that say, we spent this on this and this is how we spent it. But you know, there's millions being poured into these PACs that don't have to do that. So that's where the, you know, I think that's where the inconsistency in what you consider justice to be. You know, what's wise and right that they can do that, whereas we have to, you know, name everything. I think the more transparent government is, the better it is. I mean, the more you guys know how we make our decision, the more you'll know whether you want to vote for us again or not. And that's where it all comes down to. You know, the trust of these people in this county, I think, are much better than what it used to be, because they know they can make a difference. They know they can go to the polls. They know we're going to make sure these elections are fair. And I think that's what they see here. And I have people every day come to me and tell me that they feel a lot better about the county. And I feel a lot better about the county. And you know, we do a lot of really good things in this county. And we've accomplished some really good things from this commission. You know, we put more potable water in the ground than was ever in the ground in the 12 years that I've sat on it with Mr. McKean. You know, and that's a thing to be proud of. You know, we have projects now that are existing because we work together to get funding. We work with Senator Rockefeller and Senator Manchin and Senator Byrd and our governors to try to get funding for the people down here. And we've been fairly lucky in doing that. We've been fairly consistent with our ability to be able to get funding for these projects for infrastructure development. So I feel really proud of the job I've done. And, you know, and I hate that people may not think that most of me as far as this or that, but, you know, I've always said that, you know, I've spent 31 years as a physician. If I had to lie about something, I'd lie when I had to tell someone their 2-year-old daughter had a malignancy. I wouldn't lie to try to help someone get a vote. That's just not ever been a part of me, and it won't be a part of me.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. McCann, can I say something? I would like to thank the county commission for allowing us the funds to hire the resources to get this voter registration kind of cleared up. And it looks as though, I'll know in just a few days, as though roughly 9,000 that is deceased, whatever, will be, well, not, I don't mean that, I'm talking about all total. There'll be like 9,000 that will be put inactive. And the people that works here has done a tremendous job, but that could not have been accomplished without the county commission giving us the funds to hire those. They need to be recognized.
Well, I think the county commission always, as Commissioner Ray said, our job is to look at this county as a whole and try to make it better. And if it means spending money, in this case, we all felt justified in, then that's what we did. As a commission, people say, what is that? I say, well, the commissioners really are sort of like the bankers. We are responsible for the money, and we felt like this was a project that needed to be.
Correct.
Now, it's hard for anybody, a banker particularly, to give you a blank check.
That's
And that's
correct.
what we're doing though. Finish the job and then we'll know how much it costs. There's no way we'll know
Right.
ahead of time. So we didn't put a budget on it, but we did say, let's get the job done. And part of that was work with the Secretary of State's office making it happen, if I
You are
understand it
correct.
right. All right, anything else?